Hey everybody, welcome back to Dead X Bow Hunting. We got a special request from a subscriber to make a little video on how to fletch an arrow. So that was our contest last month, the free fletching jig. So this arrow has been fletched before. So if you've got an arrow that has veins or feathers on it, just take you a knife and just scrape them off. Don't use a serrated blade, use a straight blade, but make sure you've got all the vein, all the glue residue off of the arrow, which I've already cleaned this one up. Don't go at it a steep angle like that, because you'll cut into your shaft. So have it at a gentle angle like that when you're scraping the glue off. But anyway, make sure you've got all the glue residue off there. And get some either denatured alcohol or something that's actually made to clean an arrow. I'm using this Steel Force brand arrow cleaner. Or denatured alcohol. Don't use regular rubbing alcohol. Don't use soap and water. So if it's a brand new arrow, a brand new shaft, you don't have to scrape obviously any glue residue off, but you still need to clean it. And like I said, don't use regular soap and water. Don't use rubbing alcohol. Use some denatured alcohol or a cleaner that's made to clean the arrow shaft. So just put a little bit on a paper towel. And obviously this back part of the arrow is where the feathers are going to go. So just clean that like that. Now this is now look at all of that carbon residue. That would have kept your veins or feathers from sticking. Now something very important that I do that I believe really helps, after you've cleaned that residue off, then take your paper towel and just rub it really fast until that shaft gets hot. Now I don't know what it is. Ooh, that's really hot now, just from the friction. I don't know if it has something to do with the heat causing the glue to set up better, but it seems like when I do that, when I rub it fast enough to get the shaft really hot, my veins always stick a lot better. Alright, now the fletching jig is going to have a place where you start. This one, for example, has a flat milled into this knob, so you know that's where you start. So you glue it, index it, glue it, index it, glue it, and so on and so forth. But we're going to start out with the flat piece facing up. And there's a little receiver, a little flat piece in here where you put your nock. So put your arrow in here like this. Put the nock in there as far as it'll go. Now, this is the cool thing about fletching your own arrows. You can pick whatever colors you want. So I think I'm going to use one tiger striped yellow, and I'm going to use two greens. Now, some people clean the veins. I don't. It seems to me like it works better when you don't. Now, I've marked on my clamp. This is just a clamp. You put the feather or the vein in, but I've marked on mine where I always put it, so they're always the same distance from the end of the arrow. Just marked it with a Sharpie. So just take open the clamp. It's just a spring-loaded clamp. Put the vein or the feather in there, and slide it down till you have it where you want it. About right there. So it's pushed all the way up into the clamp. And now just take, I use Fletch Tight, I think is really probably the best glue. There's probably people that would argue with that, but I think Fletch Tight is the best glue. It's made by BOWHUNTING. So you don't need a huge amount of glue. Just put a thin bead of glue along the base of the vein. And this will set up in about, I think the instructions on here say 10 minutes, but I usually let mine set for 15 minutes. So make sure that there's glue all the way across the vane. Now this is magnetic. There's a magnet here, this metal. It's going to hook to this magnet. And once you have it on the magnet, push it all the way, the clamp all the way down to where it hits this, and then just push it down onto the arrow. And you'll see the glue come out of the side of the vane. And just let that set for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes. We're just going to squeeze the clamp together and pull it off. And there you go. Now just turn the knob till it clicks into place. You get your next vane, put it on here in the same spot where you've put the little mark. Like I said, you don't need a whole lot, just enough to cover the base of the vane. And put it on the magnet first, then slide it down this way as far as it'll go here, and push it down on your arrow again. Like I said, you'll see a lot of excess come out from under the vane, but I don't worry about trying to wipe that off. After it dries, that will harden and you really won't notice that. We're going to take off the clamp, squeeze it together, pull it out, and there you go. You've got a finished arrow. Now, really important thing that's going to help your vanes stay on there, like I said a while ago, is just tip them. Just put a little drop right at the front of the vane, a little drop at the front of that one, and then a little drop at the back of the vane. And that way, if you shoot through something, it just makes it more durable. It makes it less likely that you're going to rip the vane off. So there you go. It's just that easy. You've got your own homemade fletched arrow, whatever color you want. So I hope that helps you. Good luck with the rest of your hunting season, and we'll see you next time on Dead X Bow Hunting.